Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lori Gamble, and I am a psychotherapist here in Austin, Texas. And today I'm going to be talking about a wonderful book called Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. This is such an outstanding book, and it is all about creativity, and it's all about fear and courage, and yes, having the courage to move through our fear. It is because of this book that I started this YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure, because I read it and I felt like, oh my God, I've been wanting to do this channel for so long to talk to you all about books that I have read myself and that have been enormously helpful to me, as well as books that I recommend all the time to my clients, and they find them equally as useful. So Big Magic is a lot about, Elizabeth talks a lot about fear in Big Magic. And she quotes this saying called, "Argue for your limitations and you get to keep them." And boy, I don't think that could be truer. I think when we focus on our limitations and we put so much emphasis on what we can't do, that our brain just goes, okay. As some of you know, cognitive behavior therapy talks about that a lot. Our brains are lazy, and our brains will believe whatever we tell it, whether that's good or that's bad. So I decided to do this YouTube channel. Well, let me tell you, I am 60 plus years old, and some of my close friends and people I know have said, "Lori, that's great, but why are you doing this channel? Why are you starting a YouTube channel?" And the only thing I can think of is, well, for sure I want to share books like this, self-improvement books, not books like, how to be a better person or how to have a better sex life, not things like that. Books that just make you feel better about yourself and challenge you to think outside of your own comfort zone. So self-improvement books, spiritual books, some Buddhism books, some clinical books. But sure, I want to share these books, but I also wanted to push myself to step out of my own comfort zone, because I'm always asking my clients to do that. And if I can't do it, then I should not be asking them to do it either. I don't want to be a hypocrite. So I want to do what I'm asking of them. So Big Magic is all about having the courage to move through your fear. And when we have inspiration and decide to accept the challenge, for me it was the inspiration to start this channel, then we have to have the courage to see it through. And so that's why I'm doing this. And Elizabeth talks about this. She talks about at the end of her days that she wants to be able to thank creativity. Creativity, when we have something, an idea that we think may make us better or make the world better, then very often our fear can get in the way and stop us in our tracks from ever even doing it. And what a shame, what a terrible shame that is. So many people have so many good ideas. I remember my dad, sometimes at the dinner table, when he wasn't cranky, he would talk about a new invention he had and how he wanted to patent it. And we would all say, "Yeah, Dad, you should do that. You should definitely do that." Well, he never did. It never got past his imagination. And I think that's sad because, and unfortunately, I can't remember what some of these inventions were, but my dad was a hugely creative guy. And my husband is a hugely creative man. And he's one of those people that are a role model for me in this department. He's one of these people that Elizabeth talks about. He has an idea, and but for him, there's no fear, I don't think. At least he doesn't talk about his fear, if he does have it. He just plows through it, and he does it. He's a mathematician, and he sees it as something that's exciting, and he goes for it. And I think that is incredibly cool. I know that for me, I've always had some anxiety, sometimes less, sometimes more. And that anxiety has stopped me from doing a lot of things. It has also sometimes gotten me in trouble because sometimes I've not paid attention to it and did things that I probably shouldn't have. But I don't know where that anxiety comes from. Part of it I know is genetic because it's in my family. I remember my dad being an anxious man. I think my mom probably had some anxiety too, although less so. Maybe it comes from their conflict in their marriage. They had a lot. And I remember as a kid listening to them fighting, and I would have that awful feeling in my stomach. And I always called it my yucky feeling. And throughout my life, a lot of times I'd wake up with it. And it's only been through pushing through that feeling has gone away. Well, not all the time, but it's a lot less, a whole lot less. And Elizabeth is one of those people who she talks about how fearful she was as a child, that she remembers going on vacation with her family to, I think she said Delaware, and being on the beach and being frantic, wanting everybody out of the ocean because she wanted them all just to sit on their towels so she could stop worrying about them. She was afraid of the phone ringing. She was afraid of snow. She was afraid of meeting people. She was afraid of all kinds of things. And she said, fortunately, she had a mom who was not going to let her get away with that. And if she was afraid of the phone ringing, well, then she had to be in charge of the phone ringing, in charge of answering the phone. And if she was afraid of the snow, then she was the one that was going to have to shovel the snow. So she said her mom helped her tremendously not to wallow in her fear. And that's probably what makes her such an outstanding writer. So, you know, I guess the reason I am actually starting with this book is because I see it so much in my clients. I see anxiety, I see fear, I see people, wonderfully creative people sitting in front of me who want to become writers and they never pick up their pen. They'll tell me things like, oh, I used to write poetry, I used to write short stories, and yet they never do it. And I know they're capable of doing it. They don't. Or if they do, they're too afraid to pick up their pen. I see people, I have clients that talk about starting their own businesses, but never start their own business because of fear. So, you know, throughout the book, she talks about this. She talks about how to have the courage. With my own clients and with myself, I know I talk about, you know, when we have fear, we've got to move through it. There's another book that I'm going to be actually reviewing called Feel the Fear, But Do It Anyway. And that book is probably one of the first books that I started thinking about, oh yeah, like we've got to move through it and then turn around and look at it, or that fear, and say to ourselves, oh my God, I pushed through it. I got through it, and I'm still alive. And I think I'm a better person because of it. So if you have not read this book, I would highly recommend it. If you have clients that are struggling with some of the same issues that I've talked about today, recommend this book to them or give them a copy. Lots of times I give my clients copies of books because I just think they're so valuable, and yes, I want them to buy them. I hope they do if I don't have a copy. I like to support these authors because they're so wonderful and so talented, and they help us so much. But if you're not a clinician and you're a person just out there interested in this book and thinking, yeah, this might be something that might be useful for me, go ahead and get it. It's really, really good. Either get it on Audible or get it from Amazon. I am going to try, this whole experience is a learning experience for me, so I'm going to try to figure out how to make a link down below to Amazon, so you can just click on it there and go right to Amazon and purchase it there. And also check out Elizabeth's other books. One is a very famous one called Eat, Pray, Love, which is just another beautiful book, but that one is fiction. This is nonfiction. All right, and thank you so much for listening to me today, and I hope you pick up a copy of Big Magic, because it is magic. And come back to my channel. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe. I'm brand new, and I'm hoping to build this channel and keep it around for a while and give you more books that I love and I think might help some of you. Take care and see you next time.